Hello, we're here with the Kirklands. I'm going to let them introduce themselves and they're going to tell their story. Let's go. Who's going first?
Hello, I'm Aaron Kirkland.
I'm Owen Raymond.
Michael Kirkland.
I'm Kristen.
How about telling y'all's age and your rank that you're going for?
I am 10 years old and I'm going for first degree.
I'm 13 and I'm going for my second degree. 16 going for second.
43, going for my second degree.
And I'm the mom.
Well, she's a future black belt. She gave us hope. All right, so where y'all want to start your story at? Whose idea was it to come? How'd you find out about us? And how long did it take to make a commitment to go to black belt?
I'll start.
Okay.
We had 3 kids doing soccer, and so every week we'd have 3 different soccer practices. Every Saturday we'd have 3 different games, 3 different
Oh,
fields.
man.
And so we just wanted to try something new, somewhere where we could all be together.
Yeah.
And we knew the Maddiots, and we knew the Griffiths, and we knew the Henrys, and they all had really good kids. So I was like, oh, maybe that's a place we should go and try.
Yeah, those are all excellent families, yes. Anything else?
So the boys started, and so then I kind of was on the sidelines, like a lot of the other parents that I've heard in their stories.
Right.
And then a little bit was my idea. A little bit of it, I think I got tricked by Master Falco. So I wanted to be a good coach. So like in soccer, I mean, I was their kind of part-time coach as well.
Right.
So I really wanted to listen in on what they were talking about, how they were supposed to do things. And then he'd always go in the back and sit down and talk real quiet, and so I couldn't hear what they were supposed to be doing. So I was like, the only way that I'm going to be able to do that is if I get in there. So the other part is that I also saw a lot of families doing it too. So again, I saw the Canes out there. I saw all the McFerrins teaching. I saw Master Falco and Joyce were there. I mean, the Rafalics were out there. So again, you saw a lot of families out there doing it. So it was like, hey, it's not out of ordinary for me to get out there to go do that.
Awesome.
And then I also knew that if I waited any longer, then the thought of testing with the boys would then kind of pass me by. And so I knew that if you have a parent that is involved with it, then it's a much greater chance for the students or the kids to kind of follow through and kind of keep it there. So that's why I joined in.
Yeah. Also gives you a lot more voice, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you're the parent out there on the stands and you're the coach, they don't always receive the same way.
Right.
So it's really great that you jumped in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So who else wants to tell a little bit of their story?
I guess I'm next.
Okay.
So for me, I guess I was really into it from phase 1 white belt until green belt, and then I got to brown belt and I was like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. So I was kind of there and I wasn't there at the same time, so like they had to motivate me to go. And then it gets to the black belt test and I have a broken foot from running, and that's not very exciting. It's hard to do and it's not fun to deal with. But then I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna do it anyway. I went through it and it was hard, but it was fun and it paid off because now I'll get to go for second degree.
Good for you. Congratulations for not quitting. Yeah, and that's just such a good testimony for anybody, because you know, personally, I don't ever remember wanting to quit, but I know I've seen a lot of people wanting to who didn't, and were just so happy that they didn't. And then I've never met somebody who quit who I didn't see like down the road who didn't say, I wish I wouldn't have quit.
Right.
I've seen a lot of the kids who say, I wish my parents would have made me stay in. I've heard everything like that too. So it just depends. I congratulate you for sticking with it, and now the big reward you're gonna get next week, right? All right. And Owen, by the way, Owen is the fastest person in the class. I guess sprinting too. I don't know about sprinting.
I don't know. Jeffrey and
the long run, we know that.
yeah, Jeffrey and some other people are up there
Pretty fast. Yeah. Yeah. So it's really neat to see him run. He runs like a gazelle.
I think I'm gonna go like all the way back to like the very beginning.
Okay.
So I remember like the first time we had ever like gone into the League City Karate School, and we were like walking in to do our beginning thing with Master Cody, and so I looked on the mat and there was a guy in a white gi. I can't remember who it was, but I could see them and they were like doing a bunch of fancy tricks and like katas.
So So it
and
wasn't
stuff.
Seth, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. And then, and then I was like, whoa, I kind of want to do that too. And then we went in there and we did the kicks with the X-ray looking things.
Yeah.
And that was pretty. I was like, this is fun. I want to keep on doing this. And then another time, we were running and I saw like Mr. Seth and some other people up there running really fast, and I was like, I want to run really fast too. And there was also like I was running with Zach and Zachary Sapp, him, and he was like, hey, there's cross country for people who like want to get better and stuff. And I was like, whoa, I can do cross country too. And then so that kind of motivated me into running. And then another thing for like demo, I was watching. I remember the first graduation that we went to, because I don't think we went to like the first 2 or 3 graduations. We like got the belts from home because we had like missed it or something. And I remember like going for, do you remember? Okay, well yeah. And then but the graduation that we went to, the demo team was like performing, and I think that was the one where people were in it and like somebody got on somebody's shoulders and like they had like a Captain America thing, and they did that thing, and I saw that demo. And I was like, whoa, I want to be in demo now. And so now, like all the way here after the black belt test, I'm now in demo, and I really like it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed with the job that Mr. Seth is doing with the demo team and how y'all work as a team and really your servants, you know, because you're servicing the community, going out and entertaining the community, and y'all are having a fun time doing it, and your leadership is out the roof with that. You know, your confidence, and it's so good. So the teamwork that they do, that's the biggest group that I've seen, especially the most black belts that we've ever had on demo team. So what do you guys see from that? I know it's challenging to get them there, but it's very worth it, right?
Oh yes, and so I mean, there's definitely like leadership skills where yes, they're learning stuff new in demo, but then that stuff that they're learning in demo, that's like extra practice for them. That's motivating them to hone their craft, and then when they get back into the regular classes, you can see them as being leaders in the group, and that's helping spread some of that knowledge about what it is. I mean, it might not be the tricking aspect of it, but definitely on the kicking, and then I mean how to do kata right. I mean that definitely shows when they go back into class.
Right. All right, and Ms. Karen?
Yeah, so what motivated me a lot was like seeing a bunch of the black belts like do their fighting and kata, like in like competitions and like getting ready. And, like demo, like whenever like the demo team, like I think it's fun to like watch all their performances.
Yes, it is.
And it's like just like all of the things that like everybody was learning and like showing off in all the classes, like motivated me to go forward and to try to get my black belt so I could do that.
So I predict when you go for second, you'll be one of the fastest in the class.
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
He's already faster than I was at his age.
Is that right? Awesome.
Yeah.
So what else?
So one of the big things that happened for me was in preparation for our first test. So I think we had gone to one of the tournaments as part of that ramp up to our first degree test, and so I was standing there, and then I turned around and you were standing right next to me. It was like you just snuck up like a ninja or something, and you posed a question to me. And you said, "Hey, are you talking about the 7 habits with your kids?"
Oh.
And so I said yes. I mean, we are. I was talking to them about it, and you said, "Great. I'm gonna need to call on you sometime, and I need you to." I said, "I'm gonna need you to teach this," and I was like, "Great." But so then I go and run away from you because I was like, okay, that's gonna be enough of a challenge. But what it was is that yes, I had been talking to, so I kind of was at that conscious incompetence part. I was like, if I've got to teach this, I really have to get into it and know it to be able to apply it. And so then it was really looking at it and seeing how does that work for me? How do I know it? How do I personalize it? I mean, how do I actually use it? And how am I going to teach this to young kids, kind of teenagers and adults to where they can actually do this? And so that definitely ramped up me making sure I understood kind of the different facets of it. And then lo and behold, there came a time when it was at the end of kind of our third week that you needed me to step in and do one of the morning sessions.
Right.
And so I was able to do that and go through that and explain all about that personal victory, about how all the 3 first habits go together. But
Awesome.
from there, though, then I couldn't stop seeing the 7 habits.
Mm-hmm.
So then it was okay. Then it was how is it working in my work? How is it working kind of in at home? Like, how am I being effective at doing anything? And so I started just asking myself, if something happened and we were really good at it, what part of the 7 habits worked, right? And if something didn't go so well, okay, what was missing
Right.
to do it? And so I supervise people at work at the refinery in Texas City. And so part of that is me looking at it from the vantage point of the public victory side. Like, how am I going to get the win-win?
Right.
How am I going to listen to what their concerns are before I just tell them, hey, go do something?
Right.
And then definitely I've seen it to where when I've got that partnership with them, all right, you definitely get that synergy, and you definitely create more than anything that I could have ever thought
Right.
myself. And so that was definitely a very big kind of moment for me, just saying, hey, that leadership aspect of it was definitely great for me from that first test.
Awesome. Yeah, I found those to be timeless and very, very important. You know, the students that when you guys go through the testing, however involved you get into it, you get into it. But what I get is I'll get a lot of people who wind up in jobs where they get to teach it because they have experience with it.
Mm-hmm.
David Ferrero, Master Ferrero, who is one of our masters, he's teaches law enforcement self-defense tactics to the cadets at UT Austin. And when he got hired on there, they were having him teach the 7 habits. And so he's already schooled in it, and they're always calling me and thanking me. Logan went to college here at College of Mainland, and that was one of the first things they started them out with was the 7 habits. So it's very valuable stuff. When you start doing like you did with it, that's when it really starts paying off.
Yep.
So how about Mom? What do you have to say about all this?
It's just really been a blessing, and watching them grow, and it's just really been fun. So many fun things we've got to do, like the run for the goal. It's so fun to cheer them on and watch them run, and every sparring season it's fun, like a Friday night thing. We all go and I get to watch them fight, and it's just, we've had a lot of fun and a lot of good come out of our whole time at PMA.
Very good. And so you said you had done the self-defense, ladies
I did
self-defense?
the ladies self-defense, and it was a challenge, and I didn't think I would be able to do it by the end, but I got to beat some guys up.
You got to.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And,
What would you say to the moms out there and the teen girls? Because that's what that class is for, right? What would you say as encouragement to take it?
Yeah, I think it's worth it, and I just learned a lot of things I didn't realize. A lot of easy, if I'm in trouble, just to what to look out for and what I can go to, like some moves, the eyes and the ears and the just things I didn't know.
Don't give up the secret. There might be some wolves out there watching. Yeah, so that's good. That's great. What else? Anything else?
I remember like whenever we all went to like the BJJ classes.
Oh yeah.
The BJJ classes. And I remember like you walking in the door and like watching us grapple, and then like you're like, Aaron, come here, and then like I submitted you and who?
Mr. Andre.
Mr. Andre. I remember that pretty good.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Not very many people can say they did that in the same day.
Right. Boy. So when we started at 5 a.m. class, I was able to get started again on BJJ. So I really was falling in love with it. I mean, I was in love with it, not falling, but hopefully we'll get it back pretty quick.
Yeah.
I'm missing it for sure.
And so that's also one of the things going through the program that I really enjoyed was all of the different aspects of martial arts that we get to do here at PMA. So we bring in extra instructors from BJJ. We bring in different instructors for self-defense. And so the exposure to all these different elements of all the martial arts, definitely you find things that are similar in all of them, and then you find things that are completely different, and you find what you love. And so you find different things that I like. I didn't know that I was going to like BJJ as much as I did, but I remember when Master Falco said, "Hey, who are your top 10 favorite your top 10 martial artists?" And I was like, "I don't have one." And so then I started really looking. He's like, "You should go research it." And so I started doing it. And so then I started reading about the Gracies. I started reading about some of these people, and I started watching videos of it. I started watching people that were winning at Abu Dhabi. And so it really opened up my eyes to it. And so but it was really, you started to become a lover of all the martial arts, and not just, hey, this is exactly what we do.
So that's our culture, is that we, at some point I just felt like our specialty is to be well-rounded. And that might be like, for somebody else that can't understand that, they might say, well, that's cheesing out, because you're spreading yourself. But you got to spend time developing something till you're good at it, and then you want to complement it. Everything has a complement. And so when I first started martial arts, Bruce Lee was my inspiration. And he was probably one of the first mixed martial artists before UFC ever was heard of. So that inspired me. Yet my evolving out of necessity is why I went from one art to the next. And so, that's our specialty, is to be well-rounded. And I just encourage you, just do some self-assessment. Where do you need to balance out a little bit more, and spend a season on that complementary art, whatever it is. If it's BJJ, if you're, need more self-defense and you need more Krav, whatever that case might be. And you guys are doing a great job of doing that. So this is inspiration for the others who are watching, and maybe they'll follow your good lead. So what do we say leadership is? According to John Maxwell, leadership is what?
Influence.
Nothing more, nothing less.
Nothing less. I mean, I thought about it more this morning than I had been about what he actually was thinking about that when I contrasted it with the scripture. When you think about how important our influence is, and caring about how you influence somebody, and so when he says nothing more, nothing less, well, let's pray that we're leading people in the right way, because God likes it when we do that. He doesn't like it when we don't. Right? When we lead people in the wrong direction. What else would you say?
So I think we talked about this a little bit.
Okay.
Which was so this testing season has been very different.
Oh yeah.
And so there's things that we can do, there's things that we can't do. And so I think that we have to have that abundant mindset about what are all of the things that this test has brought us that we would have never thought to do before. So I don't think anybody would have thought we would have seen so many sunrises, all right, for a black belt test.
Right.
I don't think that we would have done as many push-ups on concrete as we would have ever thought. So if you would have asked anybody years ago saying, hey, why don't we go outside and do this every day outside?
Right.
They would say,
it wouldn't have been an option.
You're crazy.
Yeah.
But there's been these silver linings that have come out, at least for me, out of this whole thing, is that I think this test is going to have a greater impact on me personally. And the reason why, and the reason why for me is that there's a lot of things that we're doing at home. And so for our first test, we bowed in, we did BBC, and we bowed out. And then for the rest of the day, it was, hey, how can I catch up on everything I missed? And then we come in the next day and we do it again. This time, we're carving out time in our home life. And so we're finding places to do our 51s. We're finding what's a 3-mile route that we can run. We're having devotional time as a family. And so we're doing that and practicing that at home. during this time that I think these practices will actually continue. And so I think I am going to be kind of fitter because of this test, because I'll have no excuse to not be able to do a 51 because I know exactly where to go do it. It's not that I can't go run outside. And I definitely, I know three more people that I know that know the same route, that can cheer me on, that can go run the route too. So again,
cool watching y'all cross the finish line together.
So again, so there's a lot of things that have come out that have been really great for this test that I wasn't expecting from before. So again, that's why I think this has been a blessing. That I don't want to repeat having to the reason why we're doing it, but definitely some of the learnings.
We want to do it by choice, not by a solution to a threat.
But we also have to. We just always need to be looking for those wins and those things that we're doing that are.
And so what acrostic speaks to that?
The gel.
Gel. What does gel stand for?
So it's good finder.
Good finder.
Expect the best.
Expect the best.
Right? And loyalty.
And what's our family secret?
I need to phone a friend.
Repeat it after me. I get one phone call. Repeat it after me. Ready?
Yes, sir.
And we know.
And we know.
All things.
All things.
Work together.
Work together.
For the good.
For the good.
For those who love the Lord.
For those who love the Lord.
And called to his purpose.
Called to his purpose.
And that would be us, right?
Yes.
So that's called the family secret in the Joshua Code. And it's just really neat.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Anything else? Mom, anything else?
I think we covered it.
So what year will you be testing?
I'm not sure yet. I'll let you know.
I tried. Tried to join you guys.
There's still a chance.
Yes, there is. She gave us hope, and I've had no from people. She didn't give me that. All right. Ready to close?
Yes, sir.
All right, say goodbye. See you guys.